really thinking about it,
What purpose do they serve?
what purpose do the neck bolts serve?
I just
Like,
thought
what are they going into?
Just
Really thinking about it, it's like maybe if there was one and then on the other side,
yeah,
there was the nut.
but it's not. It's
But
both,
it's not.
It's
There's
both,
bolts in both sides. It doesn't make any sense.
He's just got two nuts inside of his
Yeah,
neck.
exactly. That's right. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And we're back with the No Bad Seats podcast, Sam. It's been a couple of weeks.
It has been a couple of weeks.
I needed to have a break.
Yeah.
I needed a work break leading into Christmas. The one thing, though, is that we still came in to watch a movie.
We did.
We just didn't have the time and the space to film a podcast, unfortunately. But we did come in and watch a movie, which, at least we didn't break that sort of tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
Which
it was
is
nice
good.
to see a movie in like a regular theatre again. Not that this isn't a regular theatre, but like in that normal setting.
Yeah, this guy is getting, you're getting too bougie now. You've done
Gold class every week.
You've done 12 podcasts, and now it's like, I'm in gold class every week. So now, going to a traditional theatre.
The shock,
Oh
the
my
horror.
God. We did go and see Tron, and we saw it in IMAX, so
Yeah.
it was nice to go in, sit in the lounge. We still went the bougie version.
The bougie version.
We sat in the lounge, we watched Tron, and we saw it on the biggest screen that we have in the building.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to 3D, which you were very
I was pushing,
wanting
like
to.
part of the reason it got delayed so much was because I'm like, I need to see it in 3D, but
Yeah.
none of the 3D sessions lined up. The days that there were a 9 p.m. session was when I was in the theatre for Mary Poppins.
Yes.
The days that it was a 4 p.m. session, you were at work or something, like it just would not line up, unfortunately, to go see Tron in 3D. So
Yeah.
didn't get a chance. I've heard amazing things about Tron in 3D. Having watched the film now, I'm like, I really wish we had seen it in 3D.
I still would like to eventually, because I think I didn't watch it and go, there's heaps of those like flashy, silly
but that's
3D
what I
things.
like. I don't like it when there's those moments like where, someone smacks someone in the lip and then their tooth comes out and flies towards the camera and then they're like, look, this was shot for 3D.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
The 3D that works is the 3D that's like...
Just gives depth to the
yeah,
scene.
exactly. It's subtle. It just adds elements to it that make you go, cool. It's not like...
And there's a lot of parts in Tron Ares where I think you can see that would have
Yeah.
really extended that scene or that location they're in.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to kick this week off early with, normally we do the movie news.
Yeah.
And I'll be truthful. I've been off. So I've just
I
been...
don't think there's been too
I've
much
switched
news
off.
anyhow.
There hasn't been a whole lot of news as far as I'm aware, and even my switching off is still like keeping up to date with everything. So like I've been away from work, but like again, I came in and watched 2 movies, and I still I watch too much, and I can't switch off that side of things anyway. But I have kept it pretty low key. So in lieu of the movie news this week, we thought we'd just do a brief chat about Tron before getting into what movie we watched this week, which was picked by the audience.
It was.
And maybe talk about a couple of the ones that we missed out on this week, because there are 4 really good films out this week, or at least we think they're going to be really good films because we've only seen one.
That we can hopefully get to soon as well.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll talk about them on next week's one.
It does make it really hard when I hate these weeks where you've got film that you want to see.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Black Phone 1, so I didn't see Black Phone 2.
Okay.
I really want to see Roofman, and I just haven't had a chance. And, it's devastating because then there's 6 films in the last 2 weeks that I want to see. It's too many films.
And 6
all at once.
promising films
Exactly,
that all looked
all
and
at
like
once.
we were excited for pretty much every single one of them. So hopefully we get to at least a few more of them and we can have a quick chat about them on next week or something like that.
Absolutely. So let's talk Tron.
Yeah.
Because I watched Tron and Tron Legacy to prepare myself.
Okay. I've never seen the original one.
Okay.
So the like
It's
70s,
hard to watch.
80s, somewhere around there?
It's early 80s, I believe. It's hard to watch.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying it's hard to watch because, it's old or dingy or whatever it is. It's physically hard to watch because of the way that they designed the color and the elements of it. Lots of grays, lots of design work that it's like, here's all of the people are in these grey suits, and the only thing that lights up are the lines. You know,
Yeah.
the lines that we know.
But it's like a
But
very...
everything is this really grey colour palette, but then all the reds and all the blues really like expand outwards from like the
Yeah.
LEDs. So it hits a point where you're like looking at it going, oh, like it's visually hard to watch.
Yep.
It was a struggle. Like sometimes it's really hard to notice what's going on. The story is fine, you know, like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with what they did there, but the actual, viewing it and then turning around and watching Tron Legacy, which was 2010, there's a noticeable shift in how we can still do this design without making it look like grey and blue and red.
Yeah. And I think I learned a couple of things about the original one in the fact that every single frame of that is painted on.
Yeah.
That light
That
is not
makes,
there.
That makes total sense to me.
So the amount of work that I went into that original is just like mind-blowing when these days we have things where at a click of a button
It'll do
it. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Right.
it's interesting because I said to a friend of mine, I can see watching this why this was like a visual spectacle in the 80s.
Yes.
And why it was so popular. And he goes, no, it wasn't. It was a massive flop.
Yeah.
And it became a cult hit. And I was like, right. Finding out that Tron Legacy, massive flop, cult hit.
Yep.
And here we are, 2025, and
Tron Ares.
Tron Ares. Unfortunately, massive flop.
Yep.
But I think it'll be a cult hit because I really liked the film.
The hate for it is coming from, or not even hate.
External circumstances.
Yeah, and we're not going to get into all that because we don't need to get into that.
Yep.
The movie is good fun.
Yep.
I think at its base level, it's a 2-hour like music video almost.
Yeah.
In the best sense of that, like.
How do you feel about the 9 Inch Nails soundtrack? Like, I know you have seen Legacy, but you haven't watched it like recently. Obviously, the big factor with Legacy that people loved was Daft Punk did the soundtrack, and it's like, holy crap, this is just like in the theater, this whole thing going on. And I was going, okay, how is 9 Inch Nails going to do this justice? Like Daft Punk, you understand it because it's all this like weird electronic sort of sound.
But so
that
like
sort
9
of
Inch Nails has a lot of electronic stuff in there too.
True.
And then they've done, like Trent Reznor's done a lot of score stuff in the past few years. I can't think of them right now, but I remember seeing his name on a few projects.
Okay.
So I was very excited, and I think you don't top Daft Punk, essentially. But if you're going to bring someone to the same level, 9 Inch Nails is the next.
Well, they turned. My expectations were that it would be really different to what it was.
Yep.
In a negative way.
Okay.
But it really fit the aesthetic.
Oh,
like the soundtrack was phenomenal.
Yes. And that is probably one of the key and best aspects of the movie, I think, is that soundtrack is just, it's amazing.
So good.
And then the visuals that come with it,
Yep.
also amazing. Like there's nothing in this movie where I go, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
There is nothing bad in this movie by any means. Everyone puts in great performances.
Yep.
I think it looks great, it sounds great. The story might not be like mind-blowing. It's a pretty kind of basic type of story.
And I think all three of them are, you know, it's like this cool, weird, like sci-fi thing where he gets put into the grid and has to find his way out.
It's essentially hero's journey with a different
sequel is his son
slapped
goes
over it.
in and then has to find his way out, but in finding his way out also there's a program who comes with him. So they're setting up the fact that programs can now leave. And then the third one is Evan Peters, who is the grandson of Dillinger, the villain from the first one, whose dad, I guess,
They were in competition with the Flynns?
Yes.
Yes.
They were in the first one, he's part of the board and he takes over.
Yes. Yep.
In the sequel, he's broken off, formed his own company, and it's like a whole thing. But he breaks off and forms his own company because you actually see his son is now on the board in Legacy, and it's an uncredited role. It's Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
And he has this uncredited role, and I was looking at him going, is that Cillian Murphy? What the hell? And I looked it up, and it was like
Oscar-winning Cillian Murphy.
He's uncredited. I wonder why that is. And I looked into it, and apparently they because he's only in it for a very small cameo in the boardroom, and apparently the plan was he was going to be a major factor of the next film that they were going to do.
And then
obviously that's happened. They've rewritten, restructured everything, and done all that, and then decided to go with his grandson because of the amount of time that it's now been. It's an additional 15 years. I mean, I still think Cillian Murphy could have played the exact same character. It wouldn't have.
I mean, I haven't seen the first one, but Jeff Bridges is in the first one as well, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like 3 generations spanned it. He's just like, I'm Jeff Bridges. I'm here. I ain't budging.
His character makes sense as to why he's there, though.
Yeah.
Like he stays in Legacy, stays on the grid.
And I love that. Like, it's great. Anytime Jeff Bridges is on screen, he's just such like one of those people that walks on and you're instantly like,
yeah,
he's here.
in the first one, he actually escapes and then takes over the company. And then in the second one, they go, oh, he's been missing. Nobody knows where he is. What's happened to him? All of that sort of thing. And then his son's, I'm going looking for him, but he's gone into the grid and not been able to get out.
Yeah, because Legacy, is it, there's 2 of him? 2 Jeff Bridges, or is it just the one?
No, just the one.
But he's like CGI'd face a little bit, isn't he? Like a bit de-aged or something?
No, you're right. There is 2 Jeff Bridges, but there's not 2 Flynns.
Yes.
So in the original Tron, Kevin Flynn is the human, and then the program that he's created is called Clue, who is him.
Okay.
So then it's him, Clue, and Tron versus the Master Control.
Yep.
And Tron is based on another guy who is in the room.
Yes.
In the sequel, Clue, who is the de-aged version, has then turned on him.
Yes.
Because his instructions were that he's got to, make everything perfect, and having a human there is imperfect. So that's why he's turned on him. It's like following instructions.
Yeah.
So that's why it's him. And then the third one, there's no Tron. So Tron is one of these weird things where it's like, let's name the film after a character who's sort of a side character in the original film.
Character,
He's not our main character. He's not even really like...
I mean, I guess you don't want to name the movie Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. Flynn. It doesn't quite sound the same. However, it becomes a problem when you hit the third film and Tron isn't the name of the grid, or like, Grid. Name the film Grid. Like it's Tron does sound really cool.
It does. It very much fits the aesthetic of the whole film in that like 80s kind of vibe.
Yes, when it's a side character and then you get to the third film and it's Tron Ares, Tron's not there. There is no, Tron isn't in the film. So it does, and like even in Legacy, he's in there, but he's set up as he's the guy, the assassin, who's like sent after them, and then he turns good again. So he's been on the wrong side. So there's these things that it's like, you wonder why they made that choice not to include Tron if you're going to, and how it could have worked. I mean, you could have even, there's literally a scene where he goes to the original grid, and we've seen obviously in the footage where he runs into Jeff Bridges because he's on the original. Tron would have been there.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Where was Tron?
Where was Tron? I don't know. But look, outside of that, the story was fun.
Yeah.
The casting was good. And I just thought, like, honestly, the way the aesthetic played into the real world was awesome. The visuals were great. I love that there's these things that, the ships, the light cycles, all of these things that in the 80s when they first designed them were like a certain way, and then Legacy they sort of beefed them up, and then they've had them that don't look weird in the real world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they've made it a way that it like somehow it still fits. You got those flying things, and the way all the light tube things
that comes out the back.
That
was cool.
Works.
How that played into it a bit in the real world.
Even the way they sort of circle her and she's trapped in. It's just very cool aesthetics. Casting, so like Jared Leto was put into this film 2017. Now I think in the time between 2017 and 2025 there has been some Leto's sentiment that I think probably, no, not even probably, it hurt the film.
Oh, it hurt the film, yeah.
Unfortunately, because I thought he was pretty good in the role. Like
He does a good
you know,
job,
He
yeah.
delivers it really straight and bland almost, but it's very robotic in a way that it's
Well, he's
designed to
AI,
be.
so he needs
He's
to
AI.
be.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
needs to be slop.
AI slop. But yeah, he did great. I thought Evan Peters was.
Yeah.
I actually quite liked him in the role. Now, remind me, who was it playing the mum?
Gillian Anderson.
Gillian Anderson.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Gillian
no,
Anderson.
it was Gillian
Scully.
Anderson. I was going, yeah. There's a throwback.
Yeah.
I was going Sigourney Weaver for a second. I'm like,
It's not
Sigourney Weaver. I had an S in my head, and then I was
Yeah.
like, Susan Sarandon? No, not Susan Sarandon either. What is going on? Susan Sarandon played that character in Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no. It's there's a lot. I think there's still a lot to love in it.
Yeah.
And people are getting too hung up on one actor's
External.
credit.
Yeah.
That's
External
outside
stuff.
of the film.
Honestly, Tron fans will like it. Sci-fi fans will like it. It's fun. Definitely give it a shot. If you've liked the other two, even if you just liked Legacy,
Yeah.
it sets up some stuff. I think there's this thing where there's also an element of there was originally a film set after Legacy that was in development that I know fans of Legacy are annoyed that Ares is not that film
Yep.
because it doesn't
Continue
build
on
on
from
the
that.
story. However, it does acknowledge the story and sort of set up that if we were to do a sequel, it would tie these two stories together.
Yeah, it
so it's
definitely
almost
doesn't
like,
just, like,
yeah,
discard
no,
things
it's
and-
really quite like it really honors both films.
Yeah.
And there's this element that it's like it's almost like here's a side story that we can then piece these two things together, combine it all, and make it like I would like to see what happened to Sam and Cora from
Yeah.
Legacy. And at the end of Ares, they acknowledge that if we're going to go ahead, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Legacy fans boycotting or
Dismissing
negatively dismissing this film without seeing it, unaware that this is something that is
It may play into
yeah,
what
like
they
hey,
actually
if
want.
you boycott, like the people who like these films, if you don't go and see Tron Ares, then it's not going to do well, and if it doesn't do well, then you may not get to see the sequel that you wanted.
Unfortunately, yes,
You know,
there's-
I
there's-
think it's one of those things, and I'm generally not on board with like, you should go see this film because it's going to get you what you want, because that's just handing the
It's
studios.
just a carrot in front of
Yeah, exactly. Money to do whatever they want with, because that's not always the way that it works out.
No.
But I do think that they should potentially look at maybe pulling back a little bit and going, I like this franchise.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a go because I like the franchise, not because
Yeah,
you
exactly.
hope that the studio might give you something later.
But if Tron has told us anything, a movie can flop and come back 3 times.
3 times. That's right. Yeah, that's Tron Ares.
Yeah.
As I said, really enjoyed it. I'm a sci-fi fan. Definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Now, we're going to go quickly through these 4 films that we didn't get a chance to do this week.
Yes.
These 3 films that we didn't get a chance to do this week. So unfortunately, we missed out on Springsteen. Jeremy Allen White looks great. From everything that I'm hearing, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Um,
I think a lot of the time, the music biopics, they kind of slip under the radar a bit because we've had a lot of them, and sort of one will come out every year or so, and everyone goes, "Oh, it's another biopic." So
he's an artist I don't really care about. Or
Yeah,
whatever the reasoning is. For me, Springsteen is less of the pull,
Yep.
and Jeremy Allen White is more of the pull.
Yes,
I like
same.
him. I would go see it because I like him.
Yeah.
Springsteen's music, a little too much Americana for me. You know, it's very,
Yeah.
very.
I could probably
pro-America,
tell you
and
maybe
it's
like 2 or 3
yeah.
songs. Like I don't. It was never sort of
No,
my
exactly.
soundtrack. But
Exactly.
I'll happily go watch the film and probably enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And from what I hear, it's a little pulled away from the musical elements. There's not a lot
Okay.
of like, you know, you go and watch one of these music biopics, and you know it's a bit of a jukebox where you get. This is when this song happened, and you see that song performed.
Yeah.
This is when this song happened, and you see it performed, and it sort of ties in. I believe they stripped all that,
Bit more
and
of a
they don't
character
have like
piece.
make it really much more about him.
Okay. Cool.
And less about the actual music, which is interesting. So, from what I've read, it makes it a good choice.
Yeah.
It's a good choice to focus on the character. So yes, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. It's about a particular time during when he was recording the Nebraska album,
Okay.
which is apparently quite a dark time in his life.
Yep.
So we see that. So
Interesting.
Interesting.
Okay. I like that.
next, Shelby Oaks. We did not get a chance to see Shelby Oaks this week. Now, this was one on the radar for a multitude of reasons. Now, I'm not normally someone who will default to going to horror, but we discussed Shelby Oaks because Chris Stuckman.
Yes.
So
A fellow movie buff,
Oh, yes.
reviewer, something.
a fellow movie podcaster. will we
Well,
say?
yeah. He's done a lot of stuff in the movie, like reviews.
Basically, what you're saying is, as movie podcasters ourselves, eventually we could get to the position where we are putting a movie
our
out.
film is being voted for to go see.
Exactly, and missed.
And missed. But yeah, like it's cool to see that sometimes these like YouTubers and things like that are getting the chance to make
Yep.
their film. There's been a long time coming.
Yep.
I think he's been working on it for years now.
Yeah, okay.
I know he's had the script for a long time, which I think he wrote over a number of years.
So
And
let's just briefly just explain. Chris Stuckman has a YouTube channel where he reviews movies.
yes.
I've been getting sent his content for at least 10 years, so
Oh, yeah,
he's
easy.
been around for a really long time, and he got studio financing and backing to do this film of his. So,
Yeah,
sorry, as you were saying,
Yeah, you're right. Mike Flanagan.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was a big
yeah,
proponent in this.
he came on, I think, as one of the key producers of bringing Shelby Oaks to life, which is exciting. Mike Flanagan does a lot of great things.
Yeah.
The horror space is, I wouldn't say owned by him at the moment, but he's a big player in the horror
Yeah.
space. And good horror,
Yeah.
not just jump scary horror. He's
The stuff that he's got coming out is phenomenal,
And
and
it's-
even
yeah.
the series, like he's doing stuff like Haunting of Hill House as well. And,
Loved it.
The
Midnight
Fall of
Mass.
the House of Usher,
Yes.
which was wonderful. Carla Gugino.
Yeah. He has made some great stuff. So knowing he's attached to it and that
Yeah.
it's got his stamp of approval of like, yeah, I want this under my name.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, there's something to this.
Yeah, having Mike Flanagan's name attached to the film Shelby Oaks definitely makes it go, okay,
Yeah.
there's the tick of approval. It's like the Australian Heart Foundation on something, and you're like, yep, that's good for my heart. This is
Yes.
probably the reverse. Oh, jump scares and horror.
Yeah.
Maybe not so good for my heart, but
It looks very interesting. I've purposely tried not to watch too much. I think I may
Yeah.
have saw one of the
I
first
saw the
trailers,
first trailer.
and I'm like, I'm going to stay away from some of this because I do want to see it and just see it for what it is. But yeah, I'm very excited about it, and like I always love to see these people that are getting the chance. They're not
Yeah.
the movie director that's been around for 50 years in Hollywood and
Yep.
is now just being given $10 million every couple of years to do
yeah,
what he wants.
just like burned out to make some
Yeah,
whatever.
we're getting someone that was given not a big budget, but given a budget to go
Yeah.
and make something that they're really passionate about.
And
so.
that's exactly it. And this is, it's the sort of person that it's early in his career, he has a name, he's built this with the intended goal, of getting to a point, and now we're seeing him get there. So that's really exciting.
I think a lot of it was also crowdfunded from memory as
Oh,
well.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The other thing too is we have a really big horror community in Albury-Wodonga. Albury-Wodonga loves horror. I see it every single time we get a horror film through. It's like, oh, this film did really well.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful that doesn't just mean the big horrors, and I'm hopeful that films like Shelby Oaks get a chance.
Get a
and
good
I
run,
feel
yeah.
like they will. I don't think that this necessarily got a massive marketing budget, but
No,
and
it
it
didn't.
did sort of come in again at a time where there's a lot of other movies out, which is unfortunate. But the horror fans, check it out, Shelby Oaks. It's exciting to see, and we want to hear some feedback on it. Now, next up, Regretting You. Next Colleen Hoover one. It's her second film. I just got sent a trailer for whatever the next one is.
Oh, there's another. Yes, I think I saw this. Something, him.
Yes. not him.
Not him, not that movie.
But I can't remember what it's called. I didn't get a chance to watch the trailer. I got sent it at an unfortunate time.
Not remember him.
Something like
that.
Yeah, so I, she's got a lot in the works, and I did know that, when It Ends With Us came out and was a $200 million romance film, it was like, okay, start funding. She's blown up on Book Talk, and people who have read one of her books have read every one of
all
her
of
books.
their books. Yeah.
So they're all excited about it, and that's.
It doesn't look bad. I
Good cast.
watched It Ends With Us. Didn't mind it. There's certain parts of it where I was like, it could have been better. I didn't read the book, so I don't know if there's things they left out, whatever, all of that stuff that happens with book adaptations. But from what I've seen from this movie, it looks good. It's great cast.
Yep.
Like, phenomenal cast. And yeah, it looks good. It was my second vote.
It was your second vote. That's right.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be one that'll be popular. It doesn't seem to have picked up the hype that It Ends With Us did.
I mean, bad press always gets a bit more hype. So It Ends With Us was a little bit of an anomaly.
I sort of felt like it being her first one, I was like, oh, this is, because even, I remember posting photos from It Ends With Us on our social media and getting tons of comments. Like when they first came out, people were really excited about it.
Yep.
And I haven't felt that exact way with Regretting You, but there's still a lot of people who are going, are we going to read the book first, or are we going to, lots of that sort of stuff, which is nice. So it's good to see that Colleen Hoover's got audience there ready to go, built in, so that when we have a film like this, and we don't get a lot of films like this, a lot of these sort of romancy. Yeah, it was such a commonplace thing. So now Colleen Hoover, now it's like instead of
Nicholas Sparks was the big one that was like every year you'd get a Nicholas Sparks movie.
So now it's Colleen Hoover. So we're getting whatever the name of this next one is, something about remembering him.
Yep.
And then Verity, which is Anne Hathaway, is also 2026. So there's two set for the next year. Which is really interesting. So there you go. So Regretting You is in cinemas now, and also one that we will hopefully not regret seeing.
Yes.
Or missing, rather.
Well, yeah, this is true.
Which leads us to what we saw today. Sam, do you want to tell us about what we saw?
We saw Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. And typical to Guillermo del Toro's fashion, it's big. It is big. It's a big movie. It's a reasonably long movie at 2.5 hours.
Yep.
And it is just packed to the brim.
It is packed to the brim.
There's so much to chew on in the movie. I feel like every single frame of the movie is a piece of artwork. Do you know what I mean? And
literally the first frame you see, it's like, I think you just said, his set pieces are just gorgeous. I'm like, yeah.
The production design
really
that goes
arty.
into and that gothic aesthetic of like gargoyles and big concrete structures and things like that, and they're sort of everything's larger than life. It's just so much fun to look at. There's something everywhere, and then I think also the people he chooses for his films are also very interesting people to look at.
They do fit the aesthetic well.
So this time around we had Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz.
Yep.
So that's sort of your main characters, I guess. There's a few other characters in there that are welcome additions as well. When they pop up, you go, hey.
Hey.
But those four, all great. And all very interesting looking people that
absolutely
have their place in the world.
So for context too, with these 4 films, we posted to our Instagram story and we let you guys pick. We let you guys pick what it was that we were going to watch this week, and I was all for whatever they picked. I want to see all 4 of these films. But Frankenstein, interestingly, was the overwhelming choice. It won out with double the votes of second place, which is really interesting. One thing that I was excited about. Now, Frankenstein, we're going to talk about this film. If you are interested in seeing this film, it's a limited run. Go in and watch it on the big screen. See it this week. We're posting this Friday. The film will be gone by Wednesday. Make an effort, go and see it. Trust us, Just do it.
It's worth it on the big screen.
That's the foreword, you know. But we're going to talk about this film, and why it's interesting is that this is one of the first films that we're seeing this year from Netflix that is on the big screen. Now, Netflix had a big hit with K-pop Demon Hunters. They put it in cinemas. They made a lot of money, and it's back in cinemas next week. And guess who's probably going to come see it? Me, because that's how it's done. I am excited to go see K-pop Demon Hunters again on the big screen, despite having watched it like 40 times in the past 2 months, because my 3-year-old is super into it.
Yeah.
And despite singing nothing but the songs in the car for the past 2 months, because my 3-year-old is into it.
Yeah.
But there's some bangers. There is some
bangers. They are great songs.
There are some great songs in there. So, Netflix had a big win with that, and they had a big win in cinemas. And then guess what? Frankenstein was announced. J. Kelly was announced. Wake Up Dead Man announced, all for cinemas, which is so exciting. And Frankenstein is the first film that we're seeing in cinemas prior to it landing on Netflix. The first thing that I noticed was we still got the like Netflix, da-dum,
But the way it came in.
The way it came in, and I love this when they do this. Warner Brothers used to do this a lot, and they don't do it so much anymore. But when they would have the logo that fit the aesthetic of
it's like a custom title to the movie.
Custom title to the movie. They did it with The Matrix, and it was like all the greens and all that sort of stuff. I remember they did it with a lot of the DC ones.
Yeah.
You know, Batman vs Superman had a really cool one. We don't see it that much anymore, and then to see Netflix do like a Frankenstein-y
cool.
Netflix logo, first thing I was like, oh, here, okay, this is what, and it feels like we're in for cinema. You know what I mean? It feels like we're sitting down to watch it in the movies, which we are, but there's this thing with Netflix films, and obviously Netflix is so streaming based that, you know, it's always interesting to see when they back these big artists and big directors who are known for their on-screen films.
Well, you've got Guillermo del Toro, Oscar-winning. I think he won director as well that year. But they won Best Picture.
Yeah.
Like Shape of Water was an amazing film that won Best Picture.
Exactly. So then you've got that, and then you go, okay, well, they're backing that for a streaming movie. And streaming movies, I think, have, you know, there's a...
It's not necessarily a bad rap, but it's a...
There's a reputation.
Yes, yeah.
It's a reputation. You know, you see a streaming movie, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to watch that on streaming, but I personally don't often feel a rush to go and watch a streaming movie. Whereas when it's in the cinema, it's like, I need to go see it this weekend.
Yeah, streaming movies, I think, unfortunately fall into a category of what we're calling these days as content.
Yes.
And that's not a good word in the film world of movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's
not always that it's bad either. I think there's a lot of movies and series that are good that they put out, but there's something to be said about films like Frankenstein, films about like Wake Up Dead Man, presumably having seen Glass Onion, having seen, you know, that feel like they fit in theaters. So what I will say is that I applaud Netflix for, you know, Ted Sarandos taking it back, and he was saying, you know, theaters are out, people want to sit on the couch, but then within a year, releasing a bunch of films in cinemas, having a major success, and then going, okay, maybe we just give this a go.
And
I want to see
like
success.
I said once before, stop raising our subscription prices and earn the extra in the cinemas.
Yeah.
Because I will happily go, sure, I'll come to the cinemas and watch that because it's a big movie that's going to look great on the big screen, instead of paying an extra $5 a month.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous.
For no extra stuff.
I've had to drop down to the ad tier on Netflix, which is devastating every time I'm watching Love is Blind and something crazy's about to happen, and then they cut to an ad. And I'm like, what was he saying? What was that? What was he saying to her? Like, can you believe it?
That's what I get on is Amazon Prime, I think it is. And I don't know if there's another option to not have it, but it's so irritating. They're like, your movie will continue with minimal interruptions.
Oh,
and then I'm like, you gave us 3 ad breaks through the movie. That's not minimal interruptions.
You don't have the... is there ad subscription on Prime? I'm trying to remember when the last time I watched something on Prime was. Yeah, that's wild.
It's annoying as.
I
don't know if there's an option to upgrade to get rid of it.
HBO ad tier. I've got HBO Max ad tier. They do it at the start of the episode.
Yeah.
Pre-episode, let you run through the entire episode, unless it's a really long one. I think once an hour. So I'll wear it.
Prime is the same for TV series, so like it'll let you watch the whole episode. But generally for the movies, depending on the length, I guess, you'll get like time slotted ad breaks.
Yeah, right.
And it's super annoying. And then if you happen to pause it and rewind or go for something,
You get the ad break again?
You get it
Oh,
again.
I hate that. Hate.
You're doubling up.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Well,
so stop that. Give us theatre releases.
Yes. Went off on a little bit of a tangent, but yeah, I think I really applaud Netflix for giving it a go. Now, I think a major factor in that is that they've signed a deal with Greta Gerwig to do Narnia.
Yeah.
And the CEO of IMAX is saying, well, we've had a deal with Netflix in place so that it can be in IMAX. So presumably they're looking at theaters already. So I feel like maybe they're starting to go, well, we can release 5-6 films a year. And if we get a Netflix film early every 2 months and you're doing that, like, I can guarantee people would have come to see Happy Gilmore 2 in cinemas.
Yeah, 100%.
Now,
yeah.
Did it need to be in cinemas? Probably not. But there's something to be said about a film like Happy Gilmore 2
to go and see with your friends.
Yeah,
like
watch an Adam Sandler film.
Yeah.
Jay Kelly, which is George Clooney and Adam Sandler, I'm excited to see that in cinemas.
great.
Now, unfortunately, it comes out the same day as Wicked, so its competition is fierce. However, I'm very keen to see that, and it might be a rough one for us because we're watching Wicked the night before.
Yep.
And then the next morning, maybe we Jay Kelly, and maybe we back to back. There we go. It's episode planning on the podcast.
I think still there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
Giving a week is just not enough time.
A week isn't enough time. The reason they do that is for Aussies.
Yes,
It needs to be in theatres for it actually needs to be in 7 theatres around the world, specific ones, for a week.
Okay.
Sometimes they do limited theatres screenings and they put them in those 7 theatres for the week.
So tell me, has Wake Up Dead Man, is it same, just week, or do you know if it's got longer?
I think all of the Netflix ones are a week.
Yeah, okay.
I know that Glass Onion was a week.
Yep.
So I think that's the case. Now, I do agree. I wonder what it's like. Amazon Prime had Red One with with The Rock, and they gave that a regular theatrical run, but they put it on Prime
Like the same
within
day.
a month.
Yeah, okay.
So we got it, I think, November 1st. It came out on Prime December 1st, but we had it running all the way through, and we were still allowed to have it running in cinemas. People wanted to come in and see it.
Yeah.
People still came in and see it. People booked groups because it was a Christmas movie, and they're like, well, we may as well come in and watch it.
Yeah.
That sort of thing works. And I mean, are we going to solve the streaming versus theatre debacle now? Probably not. But there is an element of it where I don't know that a week is it.
And it's all going to be dependent on the movies. So some movies, Wake Up Dead Man, I think is a good example of like, I want to see that as early as possible because I know A, could get spoiled, and B, it's just going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see more Benoit Blanc. So it's like...
Okay, so let's talk Frankenstein then.
Yes.
How are your thoughts on Frankenstein? Do you think that this is a film that 3 weeks, 4 weeks in cinemas makes sense?
I would say maybe 2.
Yep.
I think it is great on the big screen. I think it needs to be seen on the big screen. However, it doesn't have that like spoiler factor type thing that you would be worried about.
For me, it
missing
feels
things.
like a showcase film that we put in gold class and it runs in gold class for 4 weeks. And maybe for the first 2 weeks, it's gold class and traditional.
Yep.
But then afterwards, we take it out of traditional, but we're still running gold class sessions because it is a long film and you can still come in and see it. And it's probably also the sort of film where an older crowd might, you know the story of Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly right.
So it plays into that aesthetic. I don't think that it's necessarily just targeted at an older crowd. This is one where it's a timeless story.
Yeah.
Frankenstein is one that everybody knows about. Everybody knows the story. I feel like this adds a lot of elements to the Frankenstein story, which is fantastic. But it's definitely one of those things where, because of that, there's a lot of action, a lot of stuff that goes on that is super engaging. And I think, anyone, this is an MA15 plus movie. Anyone at MA15 plus, this will engage.
Yes.
It's very good in that sense.
It flexes that MA15 plus rating a bit.
Yeah.
At times there's some confronting things.
Well, I mean, you do have to consider that the story is about a guy who's piecing a bunch of dead body parts together and then reanimating them.
Yeah.
What else can you do?
Yeah.
You know, but there are some, you know, I don't think necessarily, even despite that, a lot of like crazy gory stuff. They didn't go over
It's
the
not
top.
gory. If you're squirmish, you'd probably be
You
a bit
reckon?
like, oh, just some of the parts, some of the like the body part bits, and just peeling layers of the body. Part.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
some people that do shy away from blood and things like that
Yeah.
might be a bit like,
Ugh,
oh,
yeah.
like. But for the most part, it's not a gory movie that
Mm-hmm.
I would be like putting it next to something like Hostel or something like that. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be horrible to watch.
Yeah, it's not horror
no.
in that sense.
It's like it's that weird place where Guillermo del Toro lives, where it's horror, but it's not horror. It's
Yeah.
like this, like, yeah, it's
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that, you know, Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein's monster was really interesting, really good.
Yeah.
It was interesting noting, because I was like, wait, how tall is he? And we looked it up, 6'5" versus Oscar Isaac's 5'8". Now, he looks huge.
he looks taller than
And
that. Yeah.
all of the set, like the design and the way that it was shot makes him look huge. And
Yeah.
I don't think they had to do anything to him specifically.
No.
It was just putting him against Oscar Isaac. Even that 7 inches makes him look
Yeah.
really quite tall. And then, yeah, the design with him was really cool too. The speed that he moved at times, you know,
Yeah,
doing some of
he's
the
not
action
your-
stuff, it was really cool.
Not quite your traditional Frankenstein of what people think.
No,
I think
no.
so. Like, it starts off that way.
Yep.
And you go, oh yeah. And then as the story moves, we learn more about Frankenstein and like how it came to be and
Yeah.
everything in between. And I think it sort of adds a lot to the character that it's not just this type of monster.
One disappointment I have is that we didn't get the "it's alive" moment. Now, we saw the moment of him being reanimated and all of
Yeah.
that, but we didn't get Oscar Isaac going, "It's alive," which I was waiting for. And then
Yeah,
something happened, and
same.
I was like, hold on a moment.
That, and we didn't get the
Yeah,
screws out
no
the
neck bolts. No neck bolts. Now, really thinking about it,
What purpose did they
what
serve?
purpose do the neck bolts serve?
I just
Like,
thought
what,
of it
what are
too.
they going into?
Just,
Really thinking about it, it's like maybe if there was one and then on the other side,
yeah.
there was the nut.
But it's not. It's
But
both,
it's not.
It's
There's
both-
bolts in both sides. It doesn't make any sense.
He's just got two nuts inside of his
Yeah,
neck.
exactly. That's right. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, there's that.
A fair omission.
Interestingly, this week we are also actually showing on Sunday Bride of Frankenstein, 90th anniversary.
90th
90th anniversary
Jeez.
for Shocktober. So there you go. If you're interested, you could do a Frankenstein back-to-back. Go watch 2025 Frankenstein and
Yeah. And then speaking of
1935.
1935.
1935 Bride of Frankenstein.
Speaking of Frankenstein and then Bride of Frankenstein, we're also getting The Bride soon, which I believe is
Yeah.
a newer
A take on-
reimagining of
Yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Now, that isn't a streaming...
No, that is a
That's
cinema
been-
release with directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, actually.
Yeah, that's right. And who's in it? It's Christian Bale.
yeah.
Christian Bale. And who is the bride?
I cannot remember.
All right, look it up.
I know Christian Bale is, I think he is Frankenstein's monster in the movie.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I've seen him with
Bride.
stitches all up his face and stuff.
2025, The Bride. Is it 20? Oh, no, 2026. That
Oh, it's a 26 release.
yes,
Ah,
that
okay.
makes more sense. I don't think it... There you go, March.
Okay.
March 2026. Frankenstein's monster is Christian Bale. Jake Gyllenhaal
Yep.
is going to be Frankenstein. We've got Jessie Buckley as the bride. Now, who is she? What has she been in? I feel like I've seen her in something because her name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it sounds familiar. Pride and Prejudice she was in. Wicked Little Liars. No, Wicked Little Letters.
Okay. Has
That
she been
was-
in anything recently?
She was Juliet in 2021's Romeo and Juliet. She was in Fargo. She was in Judy. She's sort of been in a lot of things, but...
Yeah. I've definitely heard the name thrown around a lot. So,
So Jessie Buckley, and Penelope Cruz. Now, the reason I'm saying Wicked Little Letters is because we had that in cinemas a couple of years ago. It's her and Olivia Colman, and I remember putting all the stuff together for it and seeing her name.
Interesting.
on it.
Okay.
So, there you go.
Was Christian Bale
Monster.
Cool,
Yeah.
yeah. And Jake Gyllenhaal is Victor Frankenstein.
Well, it says Jake Gyllenhaal in the film. He's in the #1 position on IMDb,
Oh, okay.
and he's uncredited currently. So it's like,
Sure.
oh, I wonder who he could be. Who's the
But
most
yes,
interesting?
they've released a trailer for that too.
Yes.
And it does look quite interesting. I think.
Yeah,
So that's cool.
There you go. So we're having this real like Frankenstein
Yeah.
resurgence, which is
Cool.
interesting. You do wonder why, like, all of a sudden these things come up all at once.
Well,
You know, it's like
it was
someone's doing this film, and then like straight away it's like, oh, and also I'm doing.
Yes, yeah. Well, a few years ago we had sort of a beginning to the Monster cinematic universe where they were going to
They were
build it up
trying to do
a
that,
little
yeah.
bit like the what do you
Or
call
the
it?
MCU?
MCU, yes.
So they were going to make
The MCU.
an MCU. Yes, they were trying to do the Monsterverse, and it failed after one film, and they decided not to continue it.
Yeah, and then they had The Invisible Man, which was amazing, and he's getting a sequel.
Oh,
Which I heard the other day actually, which is
Fantastic.
cool. Yeah, so it was great, and I think they're still trying to continue with that, but they're not quite that because then was it Wolfman came out and it was kind of bad. and
yeah,
they have a lot of trouble with this MCU 2.0.
yeah.
But Frankenstein.
Well, MCU 1.0 was also having trouble. So,
True.
yeah, but it's interesting, and I don't know that these are stories that necessarily need a cinematic universe like Frankenstein, Wolfman. Like, just give us the singular films.
Just
That's
just
fine.
give us one good Frankenstein movie.
Give me
I
6
think
Frankenstein movies that follow this. I don't care if you want to continue on this story. Like, sure, Bride of Frankenstein and Son of Frankenstein and
Yeah.
Cousin of Frankenstein, and Frankenstein's cousin's neighbor. Like, no
Frankenstein's
worries.
cousin twice
Yeah.
removed.
Exactly. Great grandson of Frankenstein would be really interesting because I want to see a Frankenstein set in 2025.
Yep.
There is a scene where he falls into the ice, and I did say to you, oh, I didn't realize that this was a film that, it was him waking up in 2025.
Captain America.
Captain America style, yeah, and being unfrozen. And it's like, what's all of this?
Yeah.
But, it's definitely something that I don't think that we need a cinematic universe for, but I'm
that's fair.
all on board for seeing stories like Dracula and Frankenstein and all that. Although I do feel like I'm having this memory of Dracula and Frankenstein in the early 30s and stuff, having some sort of crossover. Boris Karloff was Frankenstein, and the other guy, who was the Dracula? It's not coming to you?
No, not at all.
Boris Karloff and I can't remember the original Dracula actor. These films were coming out around the same time, and I feel like there was some sort of crossover between the two because they were these two massive monster films, and it was like, it was like Marvel DC.
Yes,
it was
yeah,
like this thing that it was these two things that were equally as powerful, and then sort of just clashing at the box office, which was really interesting. So, let's say Bruce something. Anyway, that's going to drive me mental.
Something for you to chew on for a while.
Exactly. But yeah, I ultimately think Frankenstein was fantastic. It's big.
It
The
is.
scale is big. The spectacle is big. And again, sure, you could wait for Netflix, but there's a reason Netflix put this in cinemas. I don't know how I would enjoy it watching it on a smaller screen.
Yeah.
There's something encompassing about it because of the scale of it.
And the sets that they're in are magnificent.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're a part of it. Like there's the set where he is building the monster is
It's
crazy.
Awesome. It's awesome.
And just to see it on a big screen, like we said, there's so much to chew on in just every single frame. You're looking at it going, oh my God,
Wow.
like there's so much to look at. So yeah, watching that on your TV at home, probably not going to be quite as impressive.
Yeah, so I think if this is a film that interests you, get in this week to see it.
Yeah.
I know we said it at the start, jump in, watch it on the big screen because it's so worth it. Thank us afterwards. Drop a comment and say, yeah, I saw it on the big screen.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think maybe a touch too long, but only the tiniest bit.
Yeah.
There was a little bit in the middle where I felt.
You're looking at like a 2 hour 15 probably would have been fine.
Yes, yeah.
2 hours 20 even, but like, can you trim 10 minutes maybe? But
Potentially.
I also don't know that.
Everything still felt valid.
Yeah.
There wasn't any blank spaces where I was like, this did not need to be in
Nah.
the film. If I was to try and cut that 15 or 10 minutes, even, I would be hard pressed
Yeah.
to cut things that aren't going to impact the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Frankenstein, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up from us. And yeah, definitely recommend seeing it.
Yeah.
So that's the podcast for the week. We are off next week. I am flying to Queensland for the International Movie Convention,
You are.
which should be phenomenal.
Going to come back and tell us the movies that we can't see for
Yes.
X amount of
See
months.
a few movies early, going to be listening to all of this stuff, and I'm going to come back with information on what films are coming out in 2026 and a lot of excitement. So next week, maybe a long one.
Yeah.
Be prepared. All right. Until next time, I'm Luke, this is Sam, and remember, when you're at the movies, there are no bad seats.